and TikTok, and I gotta
Okay.
press another button. So
All right,
let
all
me get
right.
everything going here first.
Here we go, guys.
Facebook is live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, maybe. All right,
Here we go.
Facebook's on. Yep, YouTube's on. All right, going live on TikTok now. Sports talk. Why is it not letting me? There we go. Going live on the TikTok. And we're live. We are live. We are ready to rock and roll. Donnie Mac, are you ready to say hello to our fellow friends and family, as we always like to say here, 863 Sports Buzz?
Hold on, brother. Let me get this thing out there.
I just want you guys to know I got 3 things posted and ready to go before Donnie Mac can send it out to one person.
Oh yeah, I gotta get it, up and ready. All right, man.
Let us rock and roll then, because this is another wonderful episode of 863 Sports Buzz. Running a little bit behind today, but that's all right. We're here. It's another Saturday. It's a wonderful day. There's lots of sports to talk about. We got WNBA starting up. We got a couple Game 7s to talk about, Donnie Mac. And you know how we're feeling about it. Donnie Mac, where do we want to start, buddy?
Hey, but hey, that's up to you, man. We could start here. We could start there. NHL, WNBA, NBA. We can start anywhere you want, Marshentime. We can talk about the NFL draft or the NFL schedule. I mean,
Yeah, the schedule's
you were
released.
a big that
Schedule's
was
released.
just
Yep,
released
yep,
right
yep.
there, and we're talking about college softball taking off right now.
Yep, yep.
Texas beating the hell out of Michigan today. I love that team up north. It was 14-3 when I left that game right there, and Texas was beating the hell out of Michigan. I love that softball. March time we can talk anything you
There's
want
a
right
lot,
now.
man. I mean,
What
then
is
we even had
the
fishing that we
what
had.
is the
That's not
first
really
thing
been a
that
great
come to your
tournament to watch,
mind?
though.
Yeah, look, well, what's the first thing that comes to your mind right now when you're
Man,
talking about sports?
listen.
Right now,
Donnie
March time.
Mac,
It's
I
got to be
feel
NA.
I feel like we got to go Game 7s, man. I don't know. Do we go NHL or do we go NBA? We got 2 Game 7s.
I mean,
Pretty big
you
ones.
can go either way. You can go either way. You can go
All right, let's do
March
it.
time. Right
NHL,
now,
baby. Let's go. We got Panthers. We got
NHL.
Maple Leafs, Donnie Mac.
We got the
Oh,
Blues,
my
Panthers,
gosh.
Blues. This has been an absolutely brutal playoff series right here at Martian time. Listen, at the end of games, we're talking about chippiness. We've already got a little
True.
bit of bad blood in the middle
Yes,
here,
sir. You
Martian
know it.
time.
They're looking pretty
We're,
nasty at each
we're
other.
both Panthers believers.
Listen, I've been
What do
calling
you
it for.
what are you thinking?
I've been saying for Game 6, that the Panthers were going to win it in 6 over and over. I've said it since the beginning of the series that they were winning in 6. But you know what? That's okay. Because you know what? They're winning it now in 7. I'm still taking the Florida Panthers.
I didn't
I'm
want to be
taking
biased.
the playoff Bob, my friend. It's
Yes, sir.
playoff Bob. You know
That's it.
playoff Bob's going to do his thing. You know he's going to roll. You know he's going to ride. Playoff Bob's going to become that Stonewall Bob that we all know of, man. The Panthers win this game 4-2.
100% Martian time. I'm with you on that one. And I didn't want to be a whole lot of bias there. And I think you knew the Panthers. I'm surprised they didn't take this in 6. I'm very,
Listen, man, I've been calling it
very
the whole time
surprised
they were going to
didn't
take it in
have this.
6, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I'll accept 7. I'll accept it in 7.
this podcast, Marshentime. That's one thing I never doubted you on because I thought that was true. And here we go. Game 7.
Game
Marshentime.
7, baby.
Game 7.
You know it. Game 7's always going to be fun. It's
Man,
always going to be entertaining.
man.
It's always
The
interesting.
greatest spectacle in NHL, basketball. You're talking about Major League Baseball, Marshentime. And in football, we never get a Game 7 because there's always
Only
the
one
Super
game.
Bowl and there's always
Yep.
a second chance in the NFC or AFC championship. But Marshentime, Game 7, there's something different about Game 7. There is
Always, man.
so much something different about Game 7. Everything you've ever worked for throughout the season, everything everything you believe in, everything you've got, all your energy goes into a Game 7. And when you come out a winner, it's so much more fruitful. But if you come out for a loser, man, you feel like you left something on the table. You left something out.
Listen, man, Game 7s are always that epic battle, that the push, the pull, the who's more prepared, who's ready for this, who's going to hit harder, who's going to make the one mistake that we always know that somebody's going to make. There's going to be a mistake in this game. There's going to be that team. Here's the thing. The Maple Leafs are on their second goalie, though. They're not number one goalie, The number one goalie got hurt at the beginning of the series. And now it's all about the Florida Panthers and playoff bottom, man. Listen, yeah, but Edmonton just ran over. Edmonton is running over everybody right now. I'm giving Edmonton a good chance of making it back to the Stanley Cup Finals and maybe winning this year. But you know what? Listen, buddy, I'm sticking with the team who has proven their self over and over and over again because of how they play. Man, I'm telling you right now, it's looked good. They're strong. They're playing fun, and listen, the Panthers are just that team that you're not going to knock them down. You may hit them, but guess what? They're just going to come at you stronger. They're going to come at you harder. They're going to come at you more violent than the next. That's just how it works with the Florida Panthers, buddy. It's just going to keep on trucking and keep on going.
The only thing I would flash back to the Four Nations face-off. That's exactly what you're saying right now. If you cross me, you know what I mean? That's exactly what they showed the Czech boys. That's what you're talking about. The Florida Panthers and Czech. That's it. That's all you got to say because that is the foundation. That is the heart and soul of that team right there. And they go as they go. And Marshentime, just flash back to the Four Nations face-off. That's kind of the fire you got right here in the middle of fucking Panthers. That's it. And and that's to say the least. To say the least.
No, I mean I love what the Florida Panthers are doing. I love Ekblad. I love Barkov. I love Tkachuk. I love Marchand. This team right now, man, they have so many stars on this team, but there's no one superstar because they don't need that one superstar. And I'm not even mentioning Sam Bennett or I'm not even mentioning the guys like that. These guys are all willing to sacrifice being the superstar to be on that Stanley Cup champion team. That's what they're doing. They built a culture in Florida. The Florida Panthers are now a dynasty, honestly. I mean, come on. They've been to the Stanley Cups two years in a row. They lost the first one, they won the second one. Now they're right back in there. They're heavy favorite to try to keep moving on. Listen, the Florida Panthers are that team to be scared of, and nobody wants to play them in a 7-game series because they know it's going to be tough. They're going to get hit, and the Florida Panthers are not going to be playing around the whole time. It's just going to be the way to go. They're going to score. They're going to play defense, and they're going to lay out some hits.
100%.
That's the best part, man.
100%, Mark. They are a franchise, a dynasty, however you want to. I mean, they've built that. They are the epitome of it. I mean, there is no keeping pace with that. There is no denying that. That is what it is. You know what I mean? If you've been in the finals for the last couple of years, what do they call Boston? The team to beat. What did I call them?
Yeah. Well, guess what, Donnie Mac? While you bring that up, your team goes down too. Because I told you the Boston Celtics were not.
Well, you said
this year,
two.
buddy. They were
you
not
lead on to
repeating.
something other. You
They
leave
were
on
not
to
repeating.
something other. And I told you, you took the Cleveland Cavaliers in Marshentime, and I told you last year they were next to Washington, the worst team in the year. You know what? They might have had the coach of the year. They might have made a big improvement. You know what I mean? And they got Donovan Mitchell, but I told you those injuries, Marshentime. I was one game better than you, and that's all that
We're
matters.
not calling no one game better.
That's all
You
that
lost
matters.
in the same series, the
Ah!
same time, and you guys, the Celtics got absolutely blown out. It wasn't even a
might have.
game, man. That was absolutely pitiful. I was sitting up at Dave and Buster's, man. We were having a couple having fun, you know. And I'm just watching the Knicks, man, just rain threes, rain twos, and everybody was going off because everybody wanted the Celtics out of there. Nobody wanted the Celtics in. It was amazing to watch. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, I'm glad you floated your boat there, but it doesn't take away from the fact that your team was first exited to a worse team out of the
Ooh.
playoffs than my
Ooh.
team that I picked to a better team.
Listen, we're gonna find that out, buddy. Because guess what? The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks now will play each other, Donnie Mac. We'll play each other. Who you taking in that series?
Seated.
No. Who
Higher
you
seed.
taking in that series, then, Donnie Mac?
I'm taking the winner.
That's not an answer, sir.
I'm taking the winner.
Who you taking? Who you taking, Donnie Mac? Come on.
Sir. It is right now. No, I'm taking the winner.
That's not how that works, Donnie Mac. Come on now.
Doesn't matter. I'm taking the winner.
I want to hear you say
Who
which
you
team's
taking?
winning. No, you got to answer
Whoever
first,
you
sir.
take,
I already
I'm
asked.
taking the opposite. No, whoever you take, I'm taking the opposite.
Whoever I take, you're taking the opposite, huh? Well, guess what? You're going to be on the losing end again, Donnie Mac, because we've already seen it. You've already lost a couple bets this season so far, this playoffs. I'm a little disappointed in you.
You've already lost one. No, don't even try. Don't even try. You lost. OKC's still in it. Okay, my team made it further than yours in the East. Okay, bye-bye now, Marshentime. I'm taking the opposite team from you.
You're taking the opposite team from me. Listen, buddy, I'm going on the overrated player right now and the play of the Indiana Pacers to take on the New York Knicks. And I feel, listen, the Indiana Pacers have been in the Eastern Conference Finals for 3 years in a row now. 3 years in a row, Donnie Mac.
They have, Marshentime.
Put some respect on their name. They're not going down. They're not playing the Boston Celtics this year. They're taking it, and they're going to put the Knicks in their place because the Knicks have not been in a big game situation like this. They haven't been in a Eastern Conference Finals in a long, long, long time, buddy. None of these players are ready for it.
You know what?
Give me the Indiana Pacers, buddy.
Marshentime. That's why I say not so fast, because I'm taking the New York Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, you might have Halliburton and the underrated player of the year that hit 10 out of 11, the game savers, you know what I mean? But he's been there for the last 3 years, Marshentime.
Yeah.
New York has not been. You know, Karl-Anthony Towns, yes, he has been. He got knocked out by lightning in a bottle and Luka Doncic last year and in the Western Conference Finals.
Now
it's not going to happen.
Now he's getting knocked out by Halliburton.
This year and this Eastern Conference Finals, look, they're 7 deep right now. You're talking about Josh Hart. You're talking about Big Body Bronson. Karl-Anthony Towns. They go so much for Josh Hart. Okay, you got Mikal Bridges. That is one of my most favorite guys right there in the backcourt. He is the most underrated scorers right there in Marshentime. Look, you can't compete with that. You got to, and they all play defense. OG Anunoby. I didn't even mention him. He is actually NBA champion. He is an NBA champion, and he did that with Kawhi Leonard in Toronto. So, Marshentime, this might be a very, very close one. Just because you went Indiana, I'm going New York, and not just because of that, because I believe Tom Thibodeau can finally get over that hump and win him an Eastern Conference Final. Rick Carlisle can't do it. Rick Carlisle is not doing it. Rick Carlisle is a good coach, but he's not doing it. This team is too deep. Hey, precious.
Mm, mm.
Precious. That's all I got to say. Precious.
Donnie Mac.
Deep.
All I
Deep
gotta
precious.
say, man, is you know what you sound like to me right now. You just sound like a Cincinnati Bengals fan with all the hope and the prayer and everything else. But you know what? I'm sorry,
No,
buddy.
that
It's the
would be a
new.
Miami Dolphins.
No, we don't have hope. We have Tua. We know what's gonna
You just
happen.
got too many
'Cause,
prayers.
listen, here's the problem,
Yeah.
buddy. You
Too
know,
many prayers.
yeah. You know, there's a problem. We have
Too
Tua. We
many
have two
prayers.
Thursday night games this year. Do you know what Tua's a record is on Thursday night games?
I would have to say 0-2.
And you know how many concussions he's gotten in those games?
2.
Exactly. Both Thursday night games, this man has got concussions. I am not relying on this guy. We have
What?
week 3 Thursday night
Lunchtime.
game against the
Are-
Bills
are you-
again. No, I don't trust it,
You're
buddy.
I mean, yours from Texas. This kid's got a strong arm.
Yeah,
This
that's
could
great.
be a big deal
That's
for you
great.
guys.
Listen, buddy, we all know how I like him. I hate rookies. How when like Caleb Williams was going to be the savior of the Bears, he's still trash. Let's see. Who? Bryce Young. I said
We'll
he
see.
was trash. Yeah,
We'll see.
that's
That's yet to be
I don't
seen.
like rookies. I don't like rookies. Rookies are not my thing. I do not like them. You got to prove something in the NFL for me.
Do you
to
know what
actually believe in
Saquon
you.
Barkley did as a rookie?
That's a whole different thing than
Do you know what
quarterbacks,
Derrick
buddy.
Henry did as a
Whole
rookie?
different thing than quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Quarterback
do
rookies
you
are
know?
completely different.
You
than
know what?
actual, No.
Hold on. Hold
You're
on.
not bringing
Hold
in
on.
this.
Cam, Killer
not bringing
Cam.
this.
You know what he did as a rookie? He set records.
Yeah, that was
Killer
great.
Cam.
That was great. That was great, buddy. Yeah, look, what is Caleb Williams doing right now, Donnie Mac? The number one overall pick.
He
who
has
was
got an
supposed to
offensive
save-
line.
Who was
He's got an
supposed to
offensive
save
line.
Chicago.
I know what
Who
he's got.
wanted- I
He's
don't
got
wanna
an
hear it.
offensive
wanna
line marching time because Chicago drafted him an offensive line.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you see,
I'll
hang on,
bet with you right now, marching time.
you see
I
this?
bet you
see this card?
Chicago's
You see this card?
record finishes better than
That's what I think about it.
Detroit's.
You're out of your mind. You will shut your
Yes.
mouth right there. You will not
No.
speak
I bet
that
you they
blasphemy
finish
here with me
better.
again.
I
Do
bet
not
you
speak that
they
blasphemy.
finish higher in that division than
I will
Detroit.
bet you whatever you want, Donnie Mac. That ain't happening.
Whatever
buddy.
you want.
Chicago will not
Okay.
have a better record
What
than
you
Detroit this
taking?
year.
What you CC on it?
Oh,
Oh,
you ain't got nothing to even match the CC, buddy.
You said whatever.
You ain't
I
even
got a CC
anything to
too.
match the- You don't have a CC that I have, sir. You
No,
know
no,
that.
it doesn't matter. You say you'll put
Speak-
anything
hang
you
on,
want.
Hang on. Speaking of CC, though, please tell me you watched the game. Please tell
No.
me you watched her opening.
I did not.
Donnie Mac,
I watched
she starts
Valkyries.
off with a triple-double and you didn't watch it? A
I know,
triple-double
I did.
to start the season against Angel Reese?
I told
And
you
the
I was
trash
the
talk?
MVP.
Donnie
March
Mac.
time. I told you.
Oh,
She was the MVP. I already told you that shit. And listen, I watched the Valkyries home opener last night. I didn't get to watch it today because they opened today. I was at work. You were not, Marshentime. I could not watch none of these games today. You know, I watched a little bit of baseball, a little bit of golf. I got to watch a little bit of that, but I did not get to watch the Chicago side Indiana Fever. I did not get to do that. And you know what? I'll go back and watch it. Don't worry.
you better.
I'll go
You
back
better,
and watch
buddy.
it.
You better go back and watch it because that was an epic game. And listen, the Indiana Fever are looking like a team to mess with this year, buddy. I'm telling you right now.
I
With
try to tell
AB,
you. I try to
CC,
tell you, boy.
listen, those two are looking
try to tell you.
strong
Hey,
right off
guys,
the bat.
Everybody watching this podcast, roll this back about 2 weeks and look at that podcast. And when I said
did say it. We did say
CC
it.
was going to be the MVP and
did
the
say it.
Indiana Fever was going to be in the runnings, I said this, Marshentime.
Did 100%.
Now,
I agree.
it's
listen,
you know what? There's two key individuals that are injured for the Fever right now and that are not playing. Sophie Cunningham is one of them. And this is going to be an absolutely banger of a runner for the Fever. They're coming. They're coming. Aces, the Fever are coming.
Ooh,
Liberty,
listen, man.
the Fever are coming. Connecticut Sun, the Fever are coming. They're coming, Marshentime. I'm telling you right now.
Listen, buddy, I'm excited to see him right now. I watched that game, and I watched her hit the first logo 3 of the season. I mean, immediately. It was like 2 to 4 or something, man. She just drained it. Logo three right
37.
off the bat, man. Listen, Caitlin Clark is going to be doing something this year, buddy. I'm telling you right now. I love what she's doing already. She hits a triple double her first game of the season. The
Good
Indiana
deal.
Fever start out 1-0. And listen, please, Angel Reese, quit the trash talk and go and play your game. Listen, she had a good game. She had like 17 points, 12 rebounds. But you can't be talking that much trash when you're getting blown out by like 40. I'm just saying.
Can't do that. You
You
can't do
can't be
that.
doing it. You can't do it.
You know what, Marshentime, and that's what separates a lot of players from another player. They don't talk that. They just let
Show it
their
on the
game
court.
prove that. You
Show it
know
on
what I
the
mean?
court.
We're not going to be very emphasis about that, but Caitlin Clark doesn't do that. Marshentime, she does not do that. She just lets
No,
her
sir.
game speak for her. Angel Reese, take notice. Watch, play your game. Try and keep pace with the Indiana Fever this year as you finish in the bottom percentile of this league. You know what? And I won't say that. Haley Van Leith, I'm very big on Haley Van
You are.
Leith. I'm very big on her, and she's got a big shot at being a Rookie of the Year this year. She has a very big shot, March time, but Chicago Sky, they're trying to switch around Angel Reese, get her a new position. You know what I mean? You better figure out something because she can't shoot. She can't do anything but grab that ball off the backboard. That's it.
She's pretty good at that, though. Let's be honest. She's pretty good at
She
it.
is. She
I'm
is
not saying she's not bad.
very good.
She's pretty good at that.
No,
But
no,
listen,
nobody said that.
but you know what? You brought up Rookie of the Year. We got a rookie going what is it, tonight or tomorrow night? I think it's tomorrow night that she goes, right?
Paige went off last night.
Oh, it was
Paige
last
went
night
off
she went
last
off.
night.
Yep, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. You're
Paige
right.
Beckers went off last night. She had 7 rebounds. She had about 4 assists. She had 10 points. I drafted her in WNBA fantasy. That's how I know.
Oh, okay, okay.
I drafted her and she got me 17 points overall, or 22
Yeah,
points.
yeah, 10,
Scratch
7, and
that.
2.
Sorry. She got
Uh,
me 22 points and she looked good. She looked good. They lost by 9 points last night, March time, but
yeah.
she looked very good. She was very sharp. Somebody coming in for the Dallas Wings like that for a low totem pole team. She made that team look like they were in contention. Now, I can't say as much for the Golden State Valkyries, you know what I mean? Because Kelsey Plum come in and dropped 37 for LA Sparks on them. They don't even have Cameron Brink right now. And Kelsey Plum just took over. She dropped 37 on them. Like I said, that was the first game that I watched this WNBA season. It was late last night, and the Golden State Valkyrie looked good in the first half. Chelsea Van Loo, she looked very good to guard for it. The center, she looked very well.
Mm.
I would try and pronounce her name, but it's
I'm not
very,
even gonna
very
try it
hard
either.
to do.
I'm not even gonna
And
try it either.
I, all I can say is FAG, and that was what her last name began with. And they look good. They was very competitive. But when Kelsey Plum looked, she took over in the second half, March time. And she hit step back threes. She started looking like Steph Curry. Swear to God, she hit 37 points. This girl took over, and that was the deciding factor. They blew them out by 25 points.
No, I mean, I listen. I 100% agree with you. What about the New York Liberty Aces, though, man? Like, come on, the Liberty.
Yeah,
Are they
that was a big
really
deal.
that good? Or the Aces just like I mean, I was kind of
Well,
shocked, man. I was a little shocked.
you're losing March time, but Kelsey Plum, I was just talking about her.
Yeah,
Where did she come from? That's a
yeah.
big piece missing from that championship team right there. And you're talking about Breonna Stewart with the same team. She's still got Sabrina Oscu.
Mm-hmm.
She's still got team players, and she's still Breonna Stewart. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't change.
Listen, she was one
She's
of the
from
first ones that got me
the
into
six.
the college women's basketball.
I'm trying to tell you. That's the difference right there. You take away Kelsey Plum from the Aces, and then you keep the New York Liberty Saints. This is what you got right here.
Listen,
And
man.
not only that, you take away Caitlin Martin or
Kate
Martin.
Martin. Yeah.
That defensive. She went over to the Valkyries right now. I
Yep.
mean, that's a big defensive. don't forget, a lot of teams lost a few franchise players that they were building on through that draft last
Yep.
year to the Valkyries to build their team over there. So, and
No,
the
you're
Aces
100% right,
are
man.
a victim of that of three different players they
But I
took
gotta
from.
point out, my MVP Asia Wilson still went off for 31 and 16. So I mean, you can't really say
Well,
anything.
yeah,
Asia's still doing
Asia.
her thing, man.
No,
Asia's
no,
still doing
I
her thing.
can't. I can't. But my MVP got a triple double.
Yeah, yeah, your MVP got a triple double. All right, we'll go with that, buddy. But it's all right. She didn't score 31 and
That's all I'm
16.
gonna
That's all
say,
I gotta
man.
say, man. That's all I gotta say. But
That's all I gotta say. My girl's gonna win, and she's gonna win a championship, and she's gonna be an MVP Marshentime. That's it.
listen, I
Second year in the
mean,
in W in the W, she gonna get it. She gonna get it Marshentime.
we
If
gonna
she
see,
don't get
man.
hurt.
We gonna
Now,
see, because you know what?
Asia Wilson could get hurt too.
True. I mean, that's the thing with anybody though. We've talked about injuries over and over and over
Rihanna
again.
could get hurt. All these
Brianna could
girls
get
could
hurt.
get
Yeah,
hurt.
100%, man.
Nafia Collier, she's one
Yep.
of the most most underrated players in the W, man, and she is absolutely phenomenal. She put up 45 against me last night. I was playing against her. She put up 45 fantasy points against me and absolutely single-handedly whooped my butt.
Yeah,
But
I mean, listen, that's not very hard anymore though. You guys know
that's the realistic
Donnie Mac
part of the
loses a
game.
lot of games in fantasy. I just want you
Oh,
guys to
come
know.
on, Marsh.
Without Marshentime on his on it with helping him out, he kind of loses his games a little bit more than what we do. But it's okay,
Oh
Donnie
man,
Mac.
here we go. Here we go. It's getting high in here, guys. You might want to clock out.
I'm just pointing that out there, man. I mean, it seems like when me and you do, we always finish in that top 3 or 4. But without me, you seem to have a problem winning. I'm just saying, man.
Because I don't have that little evil genius over my right shoulder trying to talk some stuff in my ear. You know.
Hey, that evil genius, man. That's that. Yeah, I like the genius word. You're right about that. I appreciate that one. Donnie, man, you brought up fantasy, man. Let's talk a little fantasy. I know
I
you
did.
got fantasy baseball. You got fantasy WNBA. Donnie
Oh,
Mac, what are
Mark.
you liking so much, man? I know you're doing a lot of pickups and drops in fantasy baseball.
One of the most things I'm excited about right now, March time, is and it's not really fantasy. It's just really baseball. I love baseball. I'm really getting back in. I'm getting deep into the baseball. I think you've noticed that. I'm
100%.
getting deep into Clayton Kershaw. He's back on the
Kershaw.
mound tonight,
Yep.
and I haven't looked. I haven't checked up on it because I'm nervous, and I just want my guy to have a good outing. Marshentime, please do not check it as I'm
Oh,
talking about it right
I'm
now.
gonna look at it. I'm
Please
gonna
do
look at
not
it.
check it
I'm gonna
as I'm
look at it.
ah,
Oh, you don't even
but
start yet.
I
It doesn't
have
even start
faith
till
my
9. It
guy's
don't
going
start
to
till
go
9.
5 strong, and he's going to have 5 punch-outs because this is a guy that when I really got into baseball deep and heavy, Clayton Kershaw was the man.
Oh
He
man,
was him,
he was the
Tim
guy.
Lincecum.
Yep.
These guys, man, they were all, and
That's when
I just
Verlander was
love that
really
style
starting
of
too.
pitching. Yeah,
Oh,
Verlander was just
oh
starting to,
man.
and Max Scherzer was just coming on and
Yep.
and we were talking about. Hold on, that was the
That's
Washington Nationals. What was his name? The young ace when Bryce Harper was coming up. What was the
Steven
young ace for
Strasburg.
the Washington? Steven Strasburg, man, absolutely electric when he
Mm-hmm.
come into the league. March
100%.
time. This
100%,
is
man.
guy. This is why I get excited for this guy, Clayton Kershaw, because that reminds me of the era like that. Right there. Right there. This is that
100%,
era.
man. He's been around for a long time. I love it too. Clayton Kershaw is one of those guys, just like Chris Sale, though. That's when Chris Sale was really
Yeah.
coming out and starting to do his thing, man.
He's
For
starting to
the
bust
for
out.
the White Sox. That's when he started playing for the White Sox, and he was really turning it on. And really,
Sliders.
that was the only thing we wanted to watch about the White Sox. Chris Sale. It's still the only thing we. I mean, there's
We
no
was on
reason
the
to watch the
mound.
White
We were
Sox now.
watching. That's
So,
right.
but no, 100%, man. Baseball has been great. Pitching is finally starting to
Early.
get back to dominant. You can see the dominant forms of people of what we talked about. Even some of the Evaldi. Even Evaldi's been around for
Yeah.
a long time. And another guy who's been around for a long time who tops 100 miles an hour a lot is that closer,
Aroldis.
Aroldis Chapman. He is
Aroldis.
still around. He's still
He was a
throwing heaters,
Cincinnati
man.
guy. Yes,
Wow,
sir.
he's throwing heat still. I
In the
mean,
top 10 in the last, whatever year, he owns probably 7 of the top 10 most
fastest pitches.
fastest fastballs. Oh man, It is absolutely phenomenal, Marshentime. See it. But he did blow a save for me the other day, so I dropped his punk
Listen, my man's not young. He's 37 years old. Give him a break, all
ass.
right?
He's
Give him a
still got
break.
his thing
My
going on.
man's
But
37. Give
you know what?
Aroldis
There was
Chapman a break,
there
buddy.
was a young
Jesus.
guy out there, and I had to go pick him up. You know what I mean? Everybody will know him. Um, Smith Sewer or something like that from Atlanta. He's only got like a 2.3 ERA right now. I'm riding him out. He's playing for a good team. I dropped him for a good reason.
I mean, we'll see, Donnie Mac. I may come back and bite you in later on in the year. I hope it does, because you know what? Aroldis Chapman's always going to be a fun
Ah,
guy to watch.
you,
My
you,
man's got an
you hope
arm.
it does.
Yeah, of course I do. You know what I mean? Because Aroldis Chapman has been one of those guys who's been a staple for so many years. He throws the ball over 100 miles an hour. Man, I don't want to mess with him. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't want to step in that box against that guy.
Yeah, Clayton don't tee off until 9
9
o'clock
o'clock.
tonight.
Yeah,
9,
yeah.
10 tonight.
I already looked it up.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. I know you did. And I dropped him for and his name is AJ Smith Shawver for the Atlanta Braves. And
Oh,
he's got a 2.33 ERA, and he has not scored under 10 runs or 10 fantasy points since April 12th.
hey, Donnie Mac, I went and go pick somebody up, man. Yeah, I understand. You got to have a little help, because I know you're losing some games. I know you got to make some
I am.
changes here and
I
there.
am, man. And you want to know where I'm standing right now? Standings right now, Donnie Mack is standing fifth place in my league at 4-3-0. 4-3-0. And I'm getting my pummel beat. But
Down, you guys.
not for the lack of scoring, because I am number 2 in the league for offensive scoring. So
Mm.
for fantasy point scoring, I'm number 2. I just been playing bad luck. That's it.
Yeah,
March
that
time. You've
bad
been a
luck will get
victim
you.
of that. I know
I
you
have
were a
been.
victim of that in football season last year.
Yeah, yeah,
Go ahead
yeah.
and tell us about that.
Listen,
Go ahead,
we all
March
know.
time.
We all know
Do
I've
you want
had
to
some
rub
luck.
it in right
I
now,
was.
March time? You soaked it up last year, buddy.
It's all right though, Donnie Mac. Now it's all you, buddy. I gave my luck to you, Donnie Mac. Figured I'd give you some help, give you some support, all that good stuff. So Donnie Mac, I'm proud of you for taking over that burden away from me, so you can have it. What did I just do? Nope. Okay, we're good.
I don't know
All
what you
right.
do.
Too many buttons on here. But Donnie Mac, we talked about a little bit of baseball. We talked a little bit of, you know, you know, NHL. We've talked a little bit about some, WNBA. We got to go to the next game 7, Donnie Mac.
Yeah,
We
we
got
have
to go to the
to never.
game 7, Thunder versus the real MVP and Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets.
And
Donnie
I'll
Mac,
second that, Martian time. First of all, when we're talking about that, yeah, he was the real
he
MVP.
is the real
It,
MVP.
it was it was MVP for fatigue voting, whatever they want to
Mm,
call that, Martian time. Because you see, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he had the same kind of voting there for the last 4 years. Got voted out, voted out, voted out, and the Joker is a part of that. He is the real MVP, Martian time. But it is not good enough to get them through to Game 7, March time. This is the
Sure.
Oklahoma City Thunder.
It
This is
is.
their second crack at it,
It is.
and they have the size, they have the depth, and they have the
Mm,
skill at all positions.
mm,
A
mm.
position that OKC can 100%, like they have 3 out of the 6 games so far, March time. I'm taking OKC on this one. I'm taking the OKC City Thunder for once. I got it right. City Thunder to get Game 7.
Donnie Mac, when are you going to learn not to argue with me on Game 7? That's all I got to say, buddy. When are you going to learn?
Oh,
Because
here we go.
we know what's
I
going on,
I
man,
hear a
Donnie
bet
Mac.
coming.
You know,
I
but
hear a bet coming.
here
I
is the
hear a
whole
bet
thing, buddy.
coming.
You got the real MVP in Nikola Jokic sitting over there. You know, he's doing his thing. He's relaxing. He's going into Game 7 knowing that he's already been there before, knowing that he's already won Game 7s before. And then you got SGA over there trying to prove something, trying to make foul calls come up, man. He's trying to force these fouls coming into him. And, the refs are giving him some. The refs aren't giving him some other ones. And listen, the Oklahoma City Thunder at home will defeat the Denver Nuggets by a score of 101-97, but only because Aaron Gordon will not be playing this week, this game, because he did pull a hamstring. He's going to be out this game. We've seen it in Game 6. You've seen when he wised up. He's like, oh God, you could see it in his his eyes, and you could see it as soon as he felt it. Man, his arm went straight down to his hamstring, and it's just like, well, there goes the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because listen, Aaron Gordon has been unstoppable in these games that they've won. He's hit clutch threes. He's made clutch dunks to win Game 1. Listen, Donnie Mac,
Oh,
you laugh.
God.
You laugh.
He's
But Aaron Gordon's been
Aaron
huge.
Gordon, really?
Aaron Gordon,
Oh
buddy.
my God.
Do you
Oh, my
know?
God, Mark.
Hang on. You want to laugh about that, buddy? Do you know the Oklahoma City Thunder have not beaten them when he scored over 20 points in a game?
Oh, really?
And do you know this playoffs? Every time Aaron Gordon scored 20 plus, the Denver Nuggets are 6-0.
Now I'm
Just
scared.
saying, buddy.
Now
Aaron
I'm
Gordon
scared.
is out for
Now
the
I'm
game.
scared.
So I'm with you.
Now
I'm
I'm
taking the Oklahoma
scared.
City Thunder.
Boy, if he scores 15 points, I'll be rattling in my boots. I'll be rattling in my boots, Mark.
Yeah, too bad.
What
too
I'm
bad he's not
hearing
able to
is, what are
play.
you putting on this? Hold up.
I'm with you.
Mark,
I'm taking the
what are you
Thunder.
putting on-
I'm taking the Thunder.
Oh.
I have to take with you. Aaron Gordon's not playing.
Ah, there you go. You go
Aaron
on to
Gordon's
Thunder.
not playing, buddy. If Aaron Gordon was playing, I would bet you.
Ah, there you go. Therefore, I'm taking the Denver Nuggets, Marshentime. I am taking the Denver Nuggets, and the real MVP. He's gonna put the team on his back. He's gonna score the first playoff
This guy.
20 figure. It is Marshentime's favorite guy of all. That is the Joker. I'm
I
taking
agree with
Denver.
that one. Listen, we all know I love Nikola Jokic. I'm not saying anything about it, but guess what? He just doesn't have enough power, man. There's not enough help around him, and
Yeah.
the Thunder are just too deep.
You know, I
They're too
have
deep.
to agree with you, Marshentime. You know, if Denver makes any kind of moves and they keep everything intact, if they're able to keep everything intact with all the positional players they have, Jamal Murray is on the shelf with a hamstring injury or something, and the Joker's got to do it all alone. But when Jamal Murray's there, he can go off for 40 points and win them a series game. Go out and get a point guard this offseason, keep everybody intact, and, make a couple of key bench acquisitions. Marshentime, Denver could be right back in the mix next year with a good coach. And there's a couple of good coaches out there on the hanger. Marshentime, Denver will be back next year. They will
I
be back.
100% agree with you. Denver's going to be back for a couple years.
They will be.
Because guess what? They're still going to have the real MVP. They're still going to have Nikola Jokic
They
for
will.
next year. And that man, I'm telling you, man, he knows how to play basketball.
Without
Last
a
game I
doubt.
was watching, even in Game 6.
Might not have got the
The
MVP
passes
this year,
he
but
makes,
he is
man, is
real.
just crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely
100%.
insane.
I give you a lot of shit all year over, and trying to get you fired up, but 100%, without a doubt, at the bottom line, when you look at the best player in the NBA, that is him. The second best player in the NBA is the Greek Freak. That's 1 and 2, in my opinion, right there. That is Nikolai Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And a lot of people make a case for SGA, but he's not that guy. He's not that guy. He doesn't do all three stat categories, major categories in the NBA like these two guys do. If you can do that, you can change the outcome of the game. And the Joker and
No, I mean I 100% agree with you on I mean, don't get me wrong. SGA is amazing. SGA has done his thing. He's
had an
proven that
amazing
he is
year.
a great player. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. I
yeah.
mean, he's had a tremendous.
Had an
He's a
amazing
tremendous
year.
player. My only issue with SGA is he relies on fouls way too much, man. He relies on calls way too much. He relies on that free throw line. I don't like that too much. You know, he does a little bit of flopping to me, and I don't really like what he does. But you know what? Listen,
Oh,
he's done a great job.
everybody does.
He's still a great
The
player.
Joker, I've
He's
watched
still
him all year,
100%. I mean,
and the
they all do it.
Joker's very
But
good at faking shit.
but
He's
listen,
very
man,
good.
SGA relies on that free throw line an awful lot. That's all I gotta say. He shoots more free throws than
Not
anybody else in
not
the
so much
NBA.
more. The
So
Joker's always in the referee's pocket. He's always talking to them every game. I watch a lot of them. Remember, I subscribed to that NBA
oh
ticket,
yeah,
and I watch
I
every
agree
freaking
with
night.
you that
The Joker is always behind the referee, barking at him, just like LeBron James. So don't get it scratched. Don't get it scratched.
listen, buddy.
Really don't.
I'm not
Don't.
saying I'm not saying that he's not a guy. But SGA just seems to draw the fouls more than anybody.
There's no difference,
You
in my
know,
opinion. If you're
listen,
in the
buddy.
back of the referee all
It
day,
does. It
and
does.
if
Because here's
you're
the
at the
problem,
line,
Donnie Mac.
there's
Here's the problem. The bigger the guy, the less the calls. And I don't care. You know, I don't. You
no.
know that's. You're out of your
They
mind.
get the calls.
You're out of your mind.
The
You're
Joker
out
gets the
of your
calls.
mind,
LeBron
Donnie
gets.
Mac. We've seen it over and over. The little guys will draw more fouls,
I
and they
see
will
it
get
over
more
and over.
calls.
Yes, I
Donnie
see it
Mac.
over and over. I watch it night in and night out. Night in and night out.
Yeah, and he didn't watch his MVP in the WNBA get a triple double. I don't believe none of your stuff, Donnie Mac. Get out of here, buddy. Listen,
No,
I'm just saying
that's
what it
the
is.
NBA
The
ticket,
little
not
guys,
WNBA.
the little guys
Okay,
seem to
that's
get
two
more
different
calls
things.
from the refs.
That's
I don't
two different
listen.
subscriptions, there, wise guy. Two different
I
subscriptions.
don't know what that is.
Okay,
Listen, the WNBA, the
I
NBA,
subscribe
I don't
to
want
the
to hear it.
NBA,
They're the
not the
same things to
WNBA.
me. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Of course you don't. I wouldn't want to hear it neither. I really would. But that's
Give
the
me your
truth.
honest
The
opinion,
reality
Donnie Mac.
is,
Who are you taking
it
though?
works.
Who are you taking?
It,
You
it
said
works.
Thunder, now you said Nuggets. Who are you really taking in Game 7?
I'm really going to take Game 7, whether they have Gordon or not. I don't give a shit. OKC is going to take Game 7.
OKC's taking Game 7. Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll see, man. Listen, Reep's asking,
I
what do
don't
you
care
think
if they
about
have Gordon.
the Greek
I give
freaker
you 10
KD to the
points if
Nuggets?
they have Gordon.
What do you think? You think it could happen?
KD I don't think the KD is going to go to the Nuggets. I think KD is going to go back to the Warriors or the LA Lakers.
Ooh. LeBron would have to retire for that, man. I don't think they got enough money to do it. What about Giannis? Where do you
LeBron's
think Giannis is going?
I think Giannis stays in the East, and I think Giannis goes to Miami Heat.
You think he goes to the Miami Heat? Okay.
I really do. I
Okay.
honestly think that Giannis realizes if he wants to get the championship, he better go with the people that know how to get it, and it's going to be the Miami Heat that already has the tools in place, and all they need is him.
Okay. Donnie Mac, any other surprise moves you think?
Why do you got all these keys punching over there, Marshentime, as I'm talking to you? You're trying to fact check me? You can't.
No. I got a question that I got. I want to ask it. I got to look up the right answer before I do this.
Do that, Marshentime. You can't do that, man.
Oh, I can. I'm doing it right now, Donnie Mac. Listen, buddy. You know how this works, buddy. This is my thing here, Donnie Mac.
I know it, Marshentime. Break it off, man. Break it off.
No, that didn't give me the right thing. Still, oh well. I'll figure out how to do this in a minute.
Okay, good. Good. I'm glad it didn't give you the right thing most of the time. But realistically, when I wrap my mind around the whole thing, the only thing that makes sense, not with Kevin Durant over there, I don't honestly think it matters where Durant goes. If he goes to a team like the Warriors or the perfect team fit for him, he's not going to go because he's going to try and get his. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
He's already got his championships. You know what I mean? If he goes anywhere and wants to win a championship, it would be somebody like Minnesota Timberwolves because he'd be a
Ooh.
guy coming off the bench. You know what I mean? And be able to
Okay.
the put in that scoring output rather than Ant Man when Ant Man's not on the floor. You know what I mean? That type of deal there, or even in Boston. You know what I mean? A guy he can come
Ooh.
off the bench because you know they're not going to have Jason Tatum all year this year, or something like that. I don't think he goes back to the East. He likes the West, and just like I said with 100%, I think he steps in to Miami. If he leaves Milwaukee, it's going to be to the Miami Heat. I
Okay.
100% sold now. I'd be dropping some money on.
Okay. Listen, I respect it. Donnie Mac, I got one question for you now, buddy. Since you brought up playoffs, you brought
Okay,
up
buddy.
wins, you brought up all this stuff.
Playoffs.
Since 2000,
Playoffs.
what NBA team has the most wins?
Since 2000,
Since 2000.
I'd have to say the San Antonio Spurs.
You are incorrect, sir. That they are third place. They're actually tied for second. Tied for second with
Second.
151.
Maybe LA.
That's the team they're tied with second with is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay. And number one would have to be since 2000.
Since 2000. Think about it, Donnie Mac.
The Boston Celtics.
The Boston Celtics are number one with
Yeah.
288 games played. They've won 157 games out of those
Wow, I named the
288.
top 4 teams, man.
Top
How
three.
cool is
Top
that?
three. You
I'm
named the
pretty
top
fucking
three.
good,
You named the
Marshentime. I
top
am
three. You didn't
pretty
name the
good.
top four. You didn't get number four right.
I got the tied number 4. You said tied number
No,
2.
no.
That's
Yeah, they're tied two. They're just the Spurs and Lakers. That's
oh,
two. That's technically top three, sir.
so
If
I
you want to
got the
go for
top
number
3.
four, give me number four. Give me number four then, Donnie
Number
Mac.
4 would have to be number 4 in the NBA in the 2000s. I already got the Spurs. I got the
With
Lakers.
149.
Miami Heat.
Okay, Donnie Mac, you cheated somehow. You got this on a piece of
No.
paper over there or something? You
Ah!
got this on a piece
No!
of paper over there or something?
You see how Donnie Mac knows his NBA Marshentime. That's what's up.
All right, all right.
That's what's up.
The Miami Heat with 149 is correct for number four. Number five drops off huge, all
I
the
can
way
give
down
you
to
number 5.
118.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Nope, you're way off. They're not even in the top 10, sir.
Man, I
They're
knew
down
that
at
was a
number
long
12.
Man, wow.
I'm disappointed in you,
That's
honestly.
a hell of a drop. Okay, 2000s, let me see. Number 5, hell of a drop off. I'm going to say
30
Detroit
wins.
Pistons.
No, no. I think they are number
No?
10.
Oh,
They are number
okay.
10.
Well,
Donnie Mac,
that's not close.
you're forgetting about one team, buddy, who's been in the playoffs consistently for the past 8 or 9 years, who's won multiple
Detroit.
NBA Finals.
The Warriors.
The Warriors. The Warriors were number 5 with
Warriors.
118.
The Warriors.
Yep.
Got to be Golden State. Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. 2000s, we're talking about 4 or 5 years straight they were in.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, good point, Marshentime. That was pretty cool. You got another one? Let's do some NFL stuff, Marshentime. You want me to give one to you?
Sure, why not? Let's do it, Donnie Mac. Let's do
Who
it.
is the greatest team in the NFL? That's right, the Cincinnati Bengals, Marshentime. You nailed it 100% of the time. Do not take it back. The Cincinnati Bengals are
uh,
the greatest of
that
all
was
time.
that's just like one of those. Hang on, I got an incorrect answer. No, Donnie Mac. No, sir. The Cincinnati Bengals are not the number one team overall
Oh,
ever.
come on,
That's not happening,
Marshentime.
buddy. Not
Come
happening,
on,
Donnie
man.
Mac. It's not happening, bud. I'm sorry. That
Hey,
is not
while
happening for you.
we're here, you want to give us some rundown on your background there, man?
Oh,
Who's
all right,
that
man.
number
Listen, man.
22 you got up there
I don't
hanging
know. Who do you
behind
think a
you?
22 would be, Donnie Mac? I don't know. That's kind of a
I mean,
special number, you
what are
know.
all these pictures in this hall
Uh,
you're sitting in right
Listen,
now?
man. That's my specialty. Made memorabilia picture here. That's all I gotta say.
Mm.
My memorabilia picture. There's one really important one too, but he's kind of hidden behind there.
Oh
Of
man!
course, you know who's going to be in the
Ah,
middle.
you
So
see,
you know who's going to
Dan
be in the middle. So
Marino.
you know who's
You
going to be in the middle.
see, okay, Martian time. You get that one. You got the Brett Favre next to the
Yeah,
Marino.
Brett Favre.
We got you in the Hall of Fame. We see you, Martian time.
Oh, let's see, Donnie Mac. What else? Oh, you know what? We still got one more thing to talk about before we go, though, Donnie Mac,
Okay, let's
and
do
that
it.
is the very disappointing Sabine River in the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yeah,
What do you think about this, bud?
it's
What do you
disappointing
think
to
this is
you
just like? This is 28 pounds,
and
man. This is
me.
28 pounds in day 3. We're talking about what Lake Fork, you had to have 28 pounds just to qualify for day 1. Like, you weren't even in the top 10 in day 1. Like, come on. What is this?
Martian time. We went over this and we both, you know, we looked at the total weights for the last couple of
We
times
have.
they
We
were at
have.
this
Which are
river,
still more
and
than this.
which is still more than this, and we thought both of us thought that front forward facing sonar would come into play at some point somehow. So it has not shown up. It
Hey,
has
nothing's
not
showing
shown
up.
up. Martian time. What's the deal with that? Is it the brackish water? Is it the muddy water? Maybe the best tournament on the Bassmaster circuit because they can't use it and it comes in. We see guys up here on the top. We see Clifford Perch up here. We see, Pat Schlappy up here. We see these guys up here in the top runnings,
Yeah.
but they don't have to rely on that sonar most of the time. Is that the biggest deal around this fishery? And that's kind of what I keep thinking about. Like, nobody can use that sonar. You got to go off of instinct and you have to go off what you know from what you know and what you were raised on and how you learn how to fish, Marshall time. This might be the significance of that tournament. That's kind of what I'm wrapping my mind around right
I mean, that's honestly a good possibility, but man, it's been dreadful to watch. I'm very disappointed in what it's been, and I just don't know if I could say anything that is good about it right now, man. That's what worries me. It's been slow. It's been like all these little dinky fish, and I'm just
now.
like bored out of my mind
It's
watching
not
these guys
Lakeport.
fish, man.
It's not Lake
Like,
Fork, right?
my
It's
God, I
not
could go out. I
Lakeport.
could go out and catch this fish. Donnie Mac, me and you could go catch these fish. Like, come on.
That's what you think until you
Uh,
get on that Sabine River.
Listen,
Then
man.
it's a little bit tougher. You're not on that river. You know what I mean?
I,
You're not facing what these guys are
yeah,
facing.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking about the best anglers in the world,
Yeah,
most
and
of
they're
the
all
time.
catching
You're talking about
one,
going
two
out and
pounders.
fishing them.
Woo! Listen, man,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to see these 1 or 2
Look, look.
pounders. I'm over it. I'm over it, Donnie Mac.
You
Listen,
know what,
the
Mark?
winner at Lake Fork averaged over 28 pounds a day. He averaged over this, and now we're getting 28 pounds for 3 freaking days. Give me a break, Donnie Mac. I don't care what they are. This is embarrassing. Come on, man. If you want to get people into it, why would you even want to go to a weigh-in that you're going to see 8 pounds? 8 pounds was the leader for today. 8 pounds.
It's kind of, I mean, most of the time, I'd give anything to put a camera on your ass and let you go out there and fish where they're fishing right now. I really
I'm
would.
in. I know. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I really
Why not? I
would,
can't do any worse. I mean, let's be honest.
would.
All I gotta do is pull one fish at 1 pound. I'll be like, hey, I can do what they do. Like, that's what they're doing. I mean, these guys are weighing in fish under 1 pound. They're weighing in fish at like 12 ounces, of 10 ounces, of 8 ounces. Boy, these fish don't even deserve to be brought in. They're not even fish nuggets, Donnie Mac. They're not, like, I wouldn't keep these fish to eat. They're so small. And they're bringing them to weigh-ins. If I was at the weigh-in, I'd look at these guys like, well, I guess you brought dinner. That's what this is.
Who's replay 9?
That's Reap. Yeah.
Reap, are you still here, man? I just saw your messages. We just talked about Katie and everything, but taxes, you can pretty much go up here to the Sabine River. You pay all the taxes.
Oh man, listen.
Who's your favorite? Come out. You like Pat Slapper on here? Slapper.
At this point, why as well? It's only 8 pounds. Why not? Let's do it. I think he had like 6 pounds today.
Let me give you a little insight what caught my eye in this tournament, because I've been watching this tournament live, right? And this is the thing that really surprised me, Marshentime, is everybody's fishing and they're catching their good fish. But all the good quality fish came in man-made canals up around that river.
True.
You realize that?
Yeah.
Pat Schlapper caught all his 4-pounders in man-made reservoirs up there. So there's something going on with that rock and everything those fish like up there. It's not really natural habitat. These fish the bigger fish are gravitating to man-made habitat.
No. We're not going to say bigger fish, because there is no bigger fish, Donnie Mac. The biggest fish caught is a 4-pound fish. There's only been 2 fish that are 4 pounds. That's
bigger
it.
Than 2
That's
fish.
it. That's it. 2 fish. 2 fish are 4 pounds, Donnie Mac. That's it. Today's biggest fish was 3 pounds. 3 pounds today. We're not calling any of these fish big. I had a bigger fish in my fish tank before it died. He was like 3 pounds when he died. Like, get out of here. These are not big fish. Big fish.
Hey, listen. Hey, they're big fish to these guys that are catching them. Okay. So if you're in first place and you catch a 4-pounder, guess what? That's a big fish.
They just came off of Lake Fork, where a 4-pounder was a cull. They were culling 4-pounders, buddy. These guys have got to be like, why did you send me here? That's what. And then they're going to go to 10 killer, where there's going to be another 5 or 6 pound limit. Those fish are going to be 5 or 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
A lot of smallmouth got up there too.
But listen, that's all I gotta say. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, Sabine River is a mainstay on the Bassmaster circuit.
Yeah. Well, they need to find another place.
I think this is the reason they're going to keep it as a mainstay, and a lot of stuff has come out on social media right now with Matt Herron and the guys that got kicked off of Bassmaster. They put in a vote, you know what I mean, this and that, whatever. But that front forward-facing sonar may not play a biggest role in the next coming season. Guys, keep a lookout for that. Keep a lookout for that, because I think that's in the making right now. There's a lot of voting going on with a lot of Bassmaster people, a lot of upper echelon, and a lot of anglers, and I don't think a lot of these tournaments are going to involve that.
Hey, we'll see, man. I'll be excited to see it take a step back.
Yeah.
So.
That's going to be cool.
Donnie Mac, anything else you want to bring in, talk about, BS about before we go on and sign off for everybody?
Marshentime, I think we pretty much covered it all. Most importantly, you took the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the championship.
Yeah.
And they lost one round. One game faster than my.
They lost.
Celtics.
They lost in the divisional round, just like the Boston Celtics lost in the divisional round.
One game faster.
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. It was divisional round. They lost both in the round. They lost in the same round. They lost in the same round. That's all.
I lasted longer than you, Marshentime.
You lasted one game. I'm proud of you.
And now
the Knicks felt bad for the Celtics.
And now
that's because they felt bad because Jason Tatum got hurt.
The champion.
Yeah. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm done with this. Get me out. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right,
Yeah.
Marshentime. Hey,
Yeah.
Marshentime. Until next week on Saturday at 7:30, we'll be back here live on TikTok, on YouTube, 863 Sports Podcast. That's Marshentime. I'm Donnie Mac.
Peace.
Peace.